Hi guys, welcome back. Today let's talk about divisibility rules. The divisibility rules are very important because they are going to help you to find the prime factors. It's also going to help you to find like the divisors, sometimes they call them like that. So let's talk about divisibilities and let's just do some examples. Now, the first thing that we need to remember, let's say that you have, for example, a number like, I'm just going to make like an easy one, like 12, right? So we're going to go through the rules. Divisibility by 2, the last digit is even. Yes, is divisible by 2. Divisibility by 3, the sum of its digits is divisible by 3. Well, if I do 1 plus 2, that's equals to 3. And 3 is divisible by 3, so yes. Divisibility by 4, the last two digits are divisible by 4. Well, yes, 12 divided by 4 is 3. So this number is also divisible by 4. I see that it's not divisible by 5 because it doesn't end in 0 or 5. And then 6 is when a number is divisible by 2 and 3 at the same time. Yes, it was divisible by 2, it was divisible by 6. Therefore, it has to be divisible also by 6. Finally, divisibility by 9, you do the same. You do 1 plus 2, that's equals to 3. 3 is not a multiple of 9. Therefore, the number is divisible by 2, by 3, by 4, and by 6. Now, let's say that you have a number. The reason why divisibility rules are so important, because let's say that you have a number like, for example, 111, and you look at it and you're like, and they ask you, is this a composite or a prime number? If you're not prime, you have to be composite. So a prime number, let's remember what a prime number is. It's a number that is only divisible by itself or 1. So for example, like the number 2, the number 3, these are prime numbers, the number 5, 7, 11, 13, and so on. So if you want to know if 111 is a prime number, you will have to check, if it's divisible by other than itself or 1. So I check my divisibility table and I see, well, it's not divisible by 2 because the last digit is 1 and that's odd, not even, so that's no. Divisible by 3, well, let's see, 1 plus 1 plus 1 is equals to 3. Oh, wow. In fact, if you divide 111 by 3, this is the same as 3 and 37. So look how important it is to know these divisibility rules. So I'm going to show you another example. So divisibility rules are going to help you identify the factors that the number can have. It's also going to show you if the number is prime or not. So let's do another example. So let's say, for example, the number 57. Is 57 a prime number? Well, let's see. Is it divisible by 2? No, it's not. Let's check if it's divisible by 3. I go 5 plus 7 and that's equals to 12. You can actually go more and say 1 plus 2 is equals to 3, and you're like, oh, but wait a second, 3 is divisible by 3. Let's say you stop here. 12 divided by 3 is equals to 4. So I look at it and I say, oh, look at this. 57 is not a prime number because it's also divisible by 3. In fact, if you divide 57 by 3, that's equals to 19. So now you kind of have an idea why this is so important, because now let's figure it out, the prime factorization of a number using the divisibility rule. So let's say that you have, for example, I'm just going to make, like a number up. Let's say that you have 72 and you want to break down this number into, prime factorization. Prime factorization basically is going to be to break down the number in very, very, very small factors that they're all prime. That's the reason why we call it prime factorization. So I look at 72 and I see, well, you know what? This guy is actually divisible by 2. So if I do 72 divided by 2 is equals to 36. Is he divisible by 3? Well, if I do 7 plus 2, that's equals to 9. And I look at it and I say, oh, you know what? I can actually rewrite 72 as, and then I know that 72 is equals to 9 times 8. Now look how I'm going to do the prime factorization. 9 is the same as 3 times 3, and 8 is the same as 4 times 2. But instead of writing 4 times 2, I'm going to write it as 2 times 2 times 2. 72 is the same as, I have 3 squared times 2 cubed. So this is what is prime factorization. So 72 is the same as 3 squared